When Australia announced its plan to build massive fences, the world scoffed. A fence, thousands of kilometers long, to stop animals. It sounded impossible, but this was no ordinary fence. It was a last stand against disaster. Farmers were desperate. Dingoes slaughtered sheep. Rabbits devoured crops, turning fields to dust. The sheep and wool industry was collapsing. Something drastic had to be done. So, the rabbit-proof fence and the Dingo Fence were born, vast barriers to carve out safe zones for agriculture. These fences would cross deserts, mountains, and withstand brutal weather. The Dingo Fence alone would stretch over 5,600 kilometers, longer than the distance from Los Angeles to New York. Building it was a logistical nightmare, requiring enormous resources and faith in an uncertain solution. International critics mocked the effort, calling it primitive and futile. But for those on the ground, it was a fight for survival. The fences became a symbol, a line, drawn not just in sand, but in the nation's resolve. It was a gamble, but it was their only hope. The world watched, waiting for Australia's bold experiment to fail, but the stakes were too high to back down. This was a battle for the future of the land itself. Building the fences was a feat of endurance. No machines, no GPS, just men, tools, and grit. Boundary riders trekked into the outback, braving heat, insects, and isolation. They dug post holes by hand, unrolled wire for kilometers, and camped in the wilderness for weeks. Supplies came by camel and cart. Progress was slow, and every meter was hard-won. The work was lonely and relentless, but each post meant hope for struggling farmers. In cities, critics mocked the Great Wall of Australia, but rural communities rallied, offering support and supplies. For them, every new stretch of fence was a step toward security. Once built, the fences demanded constant vigilance. Riders patrolled on horseback or rugged vehicles, repairing damage from storms, animals, and shifting sands. It was a never-ending job, guarding the line, year after year. These unsung heroes became legends of the outback. Their dedication kept the fences standing, protecting livelihoods and shaping the land. The fence was more than wire and posts. It was a lifeline. Years passed, and the world's laughter faded. Inside the fences, the land transformed. Pastures once ravaged by rabbits turned green again. Sheep grazed safely, their numbers rebounding. The constant threat from dingoes vanished, and the sheep industry recovered. The fences worked. Profits rose, and farmers could finally invest in their land. Native plants and animals began to return, reclaiming lost ground. The fences, built for agriculture, became accidental sanctuaries for wildlife. Aerial photos revealed a stark contrast: lush, healthy land inside, barren, overgrazed earth outside. The evidence was undeniable. Critics who once mocked the project now saw its impact written across the continent. Australia's bold line in the sand had held. The fences changed not just farms, but entire ecosystems. The world took notice. But success brought new problems. Nature's balance had shifted. Without dingoes, kangaroo and emu populations exploded, competing with livestock for grass. Red foxes and feral cats, unchecked by dingoes, preyed on native wildlife. Small marsupials and birds, once safe, now faced new threats. The fence saved sheep, but endangered other species. Conservationists faced a dilemma: protect farms or protect biodiversity. The fences became a living experiment, revealing the complex web of life. Scientists studied both sides: soil, plants, animals, learning how apex predators shape ecosystems. The lesson was clear: you can't change one part of nature without affecting the rest. The fences, built for survival, became a global case study in unintended consequences. They forced a new understanding of how to manage wild places. The cost of safety was ecological complexity. The world stopped laughing. Australia's fences, once ridiculed, became models for managing invasive species. They showed that bold action can save industries, but always at a price. The lesson: there are no simple fixes in nature. Today, land management is more cautious, more holistic, shaped by what Australia learned. The fences stand as monuments to human determination and the power and peril of reshaping the wild. The boundary riders became folk heroes, their work etched into history. The fences are now tourist sites, scientific subjects, and reminders of our impact on the land. Australia's line in the sand changed the world's thinking. Sometimes, the wildest ideas teach us the most.